Hey, good morning, everybody. So, we have a line of thunderstorms that's coming through this morning. I wanted to kind of give you guys a little bit of another update. I just posted a video not too long ago on the kind of what we can expect as we go through the early morning hours. We did have a severe thunderstorm warning that has shifted just a little bit to the south. This is going to include part of Cass County. It's not going to pertain to the city of Harrisonville proper, but Belton, Peculiar, Greenwood, Lee Summit, and it's very borderline. They went ahead and issued it as there's been a couple wind gusts up there right around the 50-mile-per-hour range, but they went ahead and extended that severe thunderstorm warning over into northern Cass County. So the southern line here that's coming into Freeman, Archie, Adrian, Butler, it is not severe right now. I'm not seeing much of the way of too much concern with the winds right now. We've got little pockets of 50, maybe 55 mile per hour. I would not be surprised if they put out like a special weather statement for Bates County and maybe southern Cass County. But right now, there's no advisories out for this area. But just kind of keep in mind that we do have quite a bit of lightning and thunder. As you see there on our sky cams, the KC Scout Cam is actually in Harrisonville, overlooking 49 Highway there by Saps Brothers. And then, of course, we have our two, one in Creighton and another one in Dayton, that we are looking at. A lot of lightning associated with this line of storms as it continues to move off to the east at about 30 miles per hour. Now, they have sped up some here over the last 30 minutes or so. So the timelines have been adjusted accordingly. We're going to do another timestamp on this for you guys. And again, well, landowner, don't poop yourself. That's what we're here for. We're here to keep you from pooping yourself. So, and again, I want to apologize for my voice. A lot of talking over the last 2 days. A lot of meetings, and maybe even a little bit of allergies. I think, but I am about to lose my voice, so I do apologize. I am talking softly, so you may have to turn up that volume just a little bit to this morning. We're going to start with the southern branch of this line of storms. We got Adrian here in about 15 to 20 minutes. We got Clinton in about an hour and 15 minutes. Calhoun, an hour and a half. Uric, a little bit under an hour. So we have Holden in about 41 minutes, Warrensburg in about an hour, Leeton in a little over an hour. And then we have Butler in about 41 minutes, Appleton City in a little over an hour, about an hour and 10 minutes, and Montrose about an hour and 20 minutes. And again, keep in mind that this has sped up a little bit over the last 30 minutes, but that gives you a rough idea on a timeline for your area. So there are a couple little cells that are popping up out ahead of this line. There's one over by Uric Creighton right now, another one near Archie Adrian and near Butler. Just kind of keep in mind that any of the stronger gusts, 40 to 50 mile per hour gusts, are going to come associated with this main line. These are just little bitty thunderstorms that are forming from that rain-cooled air out ahead of this line of thunderstorms. So you still have a line of pretty intense rain that's going to be coming in behind that. So I do believe that we will likely have this chance of seeing some robust thunderstorms, strong straight line winds, brief heavy rains. I think we're going to have a chance, of course, this morning, maybe this afternoon. I think a lot of that is probably going to be to the south and the east of west central Missouri, but we're going to be keeping a very close eye on that this afternoon. But then again, for Friday, Saturday, and then I think by Sunday afternoon, we should start drying out a little bit. But we do have a front that's going to stall here near us, and that's going to provide a lifting mechanism for the next about 72 hours or so. So we could see some thunderstorms as we heat up through the day, and we could see some thunderstorms fire up in the afternoons. We don't have very many people in the stream right now. I think everybody is still sleeping, but I bet we start to get quite a few once that lightning starts popping off across west central Missouri. And again, I'm sorry about my voice. If you need me to repeat something, please say so in the chat. We will continue to monitor this line up here, the northern end of this little cluster of thunderstorms. We still have another 20 minutes left on this severe thunderstorm warning. That's going to include Belton, Peculiar, Pleasant Hill. It's also going to stay just on the north side of Harrisonville. But the line down here to the south right now does not have an advisory or a warning associated with it. Will WeatherWise show active tornadoes on the ground? I guess I'm not really understanding what you're saying. Michael, if you're talking like radar indicated, if you're talking a particular dangerous situation, PDS, or if you're talking storm chasers, that would be all yes on the check marks. Not sure exactly what you're talking about. Is it going to show tornadoes on the ground? But of course, any of these thunderstorms this morning, these are non-tornadic. These are actually going to be straight line winds. Is going to be the biggest threat, up to 60 mile per hour. Hi, Kara. And when it's raining sheets of rain, and you have 50 mile per hour winds, 55 mile per hour winds with that, it looks like a monsoon outside. So especially if you're looking at the street lights. Hey, Dusty. Yep, it is. It is definitely on your back door now. Oh, yeah. Oh, it definitely does, Michael. Yeah, it's. I mean, all of the severe thunderstorm warnings so far have been just borderline severe. We've had a few reports of 55, 59 mile per hour winds, but other than that, that's about all we've seen so far. Unfortunately, I'm not going to ruin your Thursday already, but we could see some strong thunderstorms Saturday afternoon here in Clinton and Appleton City. So, Michael, talking about your question, yes, it will always show when you click here, up here on top. It will always say, there's your text. You can go to your impacts, what areas, the population, how many government buildings, how many energy infrastructures, how many schools that are affected by that warning. And then, of course, it will say right up here if there is confirmed 70 mile per hour winds or a tornado on the ground, so on and so forth. So, and it also highlights the area. When I click on this, you notice it highlights just the warning polygon, and that helps kind of make that area stand out when we're talking here in a live stream, which I really like. Hi, Cindy. In Warsaw, it's going to be mid-morning by the time this gets up your way. It's going to be a couple hours at least. You guys can take a look at the Dayton. Let's go over to and take a look at the. Let's take a look at the Dayton cam. You can see. You can actually see a pretty good shelf cloud that's coming into Dayton in Cass County. That's going to be over here just to the west of Creighton. So yeah, we do have a pretty good little shelf cloud that is going to be coming into Harrisonville, Garden City, Archie, Adrian, Butler here in about about 5-10 minutes. Well, the Freeman and Drexel area, you guys had a couple little cells out in front of the line, and then you actually get the line come through. So really, you guys are on the backside of this line of storms, but we have several little smaller thunderstorms out behind this. We're going to see that chance of thunder showers pretty much through the mid-morning hours as this strongest part of the line continues to push off to the east. Thank you, Michael, for the jewels, man. I appreciate that. Thank you. So those of you in Henry County, down around Montrose, Appleton City, Clinton, down Calhoun, Leeton, Warrensburg, we're starting to get a few of those little isolated little showers out ahead of the main line. You can see on the sky cams down the KC Scout Cam is at Harrisonville near Sapp Brothers overlooking 49 Highway. And then, of course, you got the Creighton there at the Creighton exit across 7 Highway. And then you got Dayton there just inside of Cass County, just to the west of Creighton. Thanks, Michael. And again, I apologize. You guys, I'm about to lose my voice. We had a lot of meetings. And of course, you guys know my gift to gab. And it seems like that's all I've done over the last 2 days is just talk and talk and talk. And so I am about to lose my voice. So you may have to crank up the volume just a little bit. I'm not talking very loud, but if you guys need me to repeat anything, just let me know. Brenda, thank you. Appreciate that very much. Love the little Gorgie. So a pretty electrified storm tonight. This line of storms has a lot of cloud to ground lightning associated with it. So again, guys, we're not talking about a big severe weather event, but you guys know as well as I do that whenever you get a lot of lightning, just be prepared for power outages. Make sure that if you have to get up for work and you're going to take a little nap before you go to work this morning, make sure that that you have batteries in that alarm clock. Or have one of those old-fashioned ones that wind up. Taking a look along 7 Highway there at Creighton. This is at the Creighton exit. Let's take a look at that here real quick. And this is overlooking 7 Highway. Let you guys see that just a little bit better there. As you can see, there is a lot of lightning that's ongoing with this line of storms that's moving into west central Missouri. Hi, Aaron. Yeah, Green Ridge, you guys are going to be getting into this line of storms as well. It's probably going to be sometime, probably right around the 7 a.m. time frame, maybe a little bit before if this speeds up any. And again, a lot of lightning, and you can expect some gusty winds up to 50 miles per hour in Green Ridge. That's assuming that this line will lose a little bit of its punch as it continues off to the east, but you can still expect to get a pretty strong thunderstorm when it hits your way there in Green Ridge. So just to recap, guys, and again, if you may want to turn up your volume just a little bit, I'm going to continue to talk just a little bit softer as I am losing my voice. Brittany, to answer your question, no, we don't have to worry about any tornadoes with this line of storms. Just strong straight line winds and very heavy rain, and maybe some hail to the size of nickels. That's about it. But nonetheless, we need to take it seriously. A lot of lightning that could produce some power outages in and around west central Missouri. So it looks like the strongest of the winds right now is going to be coming into Kingsville and Holden here in about 10-15 minutes. Probably some 50-mile-per-hour winds here that's just south of Strasburg right now. We also have some strong winds out ahead of this line just south of Garden City. This is going to be almost right at our camera in Dayton that you see in the bottom left hand side. That's where we saw that shelf cloud moments ago. So we have some strong wind, probably up to 50 miles per hour. That's going to be coming into Dayton and then eventually crossing 7 Highway, Garden City, Creighton, and Urick. Kevin, good morning from Lakeland, Florida. Head up 49 to North KC for work. Okay. They did put a new severe thunderstorm warning out. It does not include the city of Clinton, just for your information. Let's take a look here. This is actually going to be for eastern Cass, western Henry, northeastern Bates, northeastern Bates, southwestern Lafayette, southeastern Jackson, and Johnson County. Severe thunderstorms located a line extending from Lone Jack to Adrian, moving east at 35. So 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and penny-sized hail are possible, and that's where we're seeing these little pockets of stronger winds. And again, coming into Kingsville, Holden, coming into Garden City, Creighton, and Urick, and then down just east of Adrian right now, but coming into Passaic and along 49 Highway. This is going to include the towns of Warrensburg, Centerview, Holden, Kingsville. So it does not include Knob Noster right now. It does not include Leeton, Windsor, Calhoun, or Clinton right now. And again, this is a very large, severe thunderstorm warning. And again, not everybody in this polygon is getting 60-mile-per-hour winds. There are a couple small pockets that could reach up to 60 mile per hour, but right now it's very, very borderline to crossing that threshold for severe thunderstorms. So again, it's not a very impactful storm in terms of severe winds, but a few of us could pick up between 50 and 60 mile per hour wind gusts. And of course, as I mentioned before, there's a lot of lightning, as you can see with our sky cams. A lot of lightning associated with this, guys, so you'll probably want to prepare for a power outage in your area. Make sure your phone is charged, make sure you have batteries in your weather radio, and again, if you're going to be taking a little nap before you go to work, make sure you have batteries in that alarm clock. So again, guys, I know we just had a pretty big influx of people join into the stream. Of course, with weather radios going off, phones going off, and again, we've been live for a little while now. I've been watching this line of storms come across the state line for the last 3 hours. So again, this is very borderline to the threshold of being severe. So we're not talking about big widespread severe weather early this morning, but what we are looking at is the potential for a few pockets that could get a 60 mile per hour wind gust, torrential rains, and maybe hail to the size of pennies. Now I'm going to highlight the areas that are in this warning, and that's going to include Lake Lafayette, Warrensburg, Adrian, Passaic, Archie, Creighton, Urick, Garden City, and Harrisonville. Yes, I know, Greg. No, we've been talking about that warning for western Henry County. Our weather radios went off here a little bit ago. So we do have a couple of pockets of 50 to 60 mile per hour winds. One is coming down 2 highway right now near Gun City. It is, of course, moving almost parallel with 2 highway. So that's going to be heading over toward Denton, Old Chehalie, Holden area, Keenville area. This area right here is where we're probably seeing some of those higher wind gusts. Now we also have another pocket down here just to the east of Dayton where you see the bottom left camera. And it's going to be staying just to the north of Settles Ford, and it's going to be crossing 7 highway. So anybody that is commuting back and forth from Clinton to Harrisonville, Clinton to Kansas City, taking 7 highway, know that these winds are going to be cross winds to you on 7 highway. So you'll want to take it easy. Torrential rains, quite a bit of wind, and maybe even some penny-sized hail. But this is going to be coming into Creighton here momentarily, and we have the Creighton Skycam up in the bottom as well. So we'll be watching this pretty closely, see how traffic is moving. Matter of fact, let's just jump over to that right now. So this is the Creighton cam at the Creighton exit, and you can actually see traffic is moving very slowly. Just seen some hazard lights on as well. So if anybody is traveling 7 highway, maybe commuting to or from work this morning, just take it easy. Know that there's been some torrential rains across the area, probably some ponding on the roadways. So just take it easy, take your time. And this is, again, this is going to be coming right over 7 highway over Creighton, Missouri. And this is going to be 50 to 60 mile per hour winds. I know we've had a lot more people join the live stream, and again, I want to apologize for my voice. I am not speaking very loud. You may have to turn up your volume. I am losing my voice. Been doing a lot of meetings, a lot of talking over the last couple of days, and it is wreaking havoc on my voice. So I do apologize. Hopefully I am pronunciating everything so you can understand it. My voice squeaks like I'm going through puberty for the second time. So just bear with me a little bit on that. So this line of storms is I don't want to necessarily say it's breaking up, but what we're seeing is it's so hot and humid out, even at 4:50 in the morning, that rain cooled air is forming these little lines of storms that's coming off of the main line. So we have a line of storms stretching from just west of Warrensburg down to Deepwater, another one from Urick down to Shell City, and then another one from Butler to Appleton City. So it's creating these little fingers of thunderstorms, but the main line is from Lone Jack down to Urick to Butler to Mound City, Kansas. That's the main line of storms. Oh, wow, Sam. I would say that's some very, very heavy rain that right now is coming across 50 highway near Lone Jack. But this line of very, very heavy rain was right over 49 near Harrisonville. So again, anybody that has to get out this morning and commute to and from work, just know if you take 50 highway, 7 highway, or 49 highway, that make sure you plan accordingly. Give yourself a little extra time, because these are torrential rainfall rates that are actually happening. Not going to last very long, but they're torrential rainfall rates, and it's going to be blinding out there with headlights. So those of you that was awakened by the weather radio, and again, we have where you see this highlighted right now, that is a severe thunderstorm warning that goes on for the next 37 minutes for the potential of seeing a 60-mile-an-hour wind gust. Not everybody is going to get that wind gust that high. You can expect 40 to 50 in this polygon. But we are seeing a couple of pockets of stronger winds, 50 to 60, stretching from Holden down to Blairstown, Creighton, and then, really down to around Urick. And it's moving off to the east. So those of you in Clinton, Calhoun, Windsor, Leeton, Warrensburg, you guys can expect to get some very gusty winds, torrential rains here in about 15 to 30 minutes. Let's zoom this out just a little bit. Let's check on the. Let's check and see if there's any hail cores out there by chance. There's a possibility of be getting that penny-sized hail in between Creighton and Urick, right along 7 Highway. That could be penny-sized hail, probably more like pea-size. That's going to be coming into Creighton and Urick. And then possibly right along 50 Highway near Pittsville. If you guys know where that bigger gas station is along 50 Highway there in Pittsville, right in that area, we could be seeing some pea-sized hail as well. Not real big hail is expected out of this, and again, borderline to the threshold of severe wind gusts. Maybe a couple pockets of 60. More than likely 50 mile per hour winds is possible in the polygon right now. Hi, Daniel. Minor update. So again, guys, we have to be prepared for some power outages. And again, we're seeing a lot of lightning, a lot of cloud to ground lightning with this line of storms. It's highly energized tonight. So, and again, we need to be prepared for that. So make sure alarm clocks, you got battery backup. Let's make sure your phone is charged. That sort of preparedness. Hey, Presley. Daniel, you're going to be working in Shell City. You want to know what Shell City is expected today? Um, and again, we got this line of storms that's going to be coming through. We are going to see some rain and thunderstorms throughout the morning hours, and then we do have a chance to see more thunderstorms late this afternoon into the evening. Now, most of the severe threat is likely going to be to our south and east, but and again, we're kind of expecting these thunderstorms to kind of stabilize the atmosphere enough where we don't get that real severe threat. But we have chances for some strong storms as we go through basically the entire morning, and then again tonight, and then likely for Friday, Saturday, and then finally it gets pushed off to the east on Sunday. Yeah, free car wash, guys. Courtesy of the man upstairs, we got free car washes if you parked outside. All right, so look like, let's jump back over, take a look at those winds again. We do have, again, 50 mile per hour winds from Creighton, Uri, down to just northwest of Montrose right now. And then we have a pretty good little pocket of winds that is just southeast of Holden. It's going to be mainly in rural areas, kind of in between Centerview and Chehaui there on F. F actually runs north and south. It's actually going to be crossing F Highway into Johnson County there. Missy, are the storms this afternoon going to be severe? Can you guess what time they're going to be? Well, I've got the model brought up here. It's about an hour old. This will likely change a little bit, but this is model data, okay, through the short term models. And here are the storms coming through our area now, okay. And then as we go through the afternoon hours, there's going to be some spotty thunderstorms over near Sedalia, Warsaw, maybe in St. Clair County. This is going to be right around 3 o'clock. And then about, say around 6 to 7 o'clock this evening, you notice there's going to be some storms up here along I-70, Higginsville, Marshall, Sedalia, Slater, and then we'll have some isolated, scattered thunderstorms throughout the area through the overnight tomorrow night. So again, I'm guessing somewhere in the neighborhood of probably right around the 7 o'clock time frame tonight, if they are able to refire. I don't know, Haley, I don't know what else I can tell you, anything more than a storm. I mean, that's what we're getting. We are getting thunderstorms right now. I mean, if you're worried about tornadoes or anything, hurricanes, something like that, I mean, we're not going to get none of that, if that's what you're asking. Yeah, that's where the pocket of winds are at along F Highway, Lynn. Let's go back and I'll show you here real quick. Right here in between Centerview and Chehaui along F Highway. That's around 50 to 60 mile per hour winds that's going to be coming across F Highway. Now it's showing Jable Rock. Thanks for subscribing. I appreciate that. This right here is showing 73 mile per hour winds, but you have to keep in mind we're starting to get a little bit further away from radar. So this is up above our heads a couple thousand feet, right? Not all of that is coming to the surface, but you can probably expect between 50 to 60 mile per hour winds with this area come across F Highway right now. And really, that's the strongest wind we have out there right now. It's coming across F Highway in Johnson County. And keep in mind, too, guys, that this severe thunderstorm warning is very large. It covered a lot of area. But again, we're not talking about a big-time severe threat here. There's going to be a couple small pockets that could possibly get up to a 60 mile per hour wind gust, but only in a couple little isolated areas. But they're covering this entire line of storms because a 60 mile per hour wind gust can come up relatively quickly. So just know that this is going to be something that could happen, not what will happen. But we need to be prepared anyway. Respect the polygon. Know that we're going to get a lot of lightning, brief heavy rains, and then of course with that potential of seeing a 60 mile per hour wind gust. We are getting a pretty good little hail core here coming across 13 in Henry County. Let's switch over to vertical integrated liquid map. This particular map is going to show us the different sizes of particles that's suspended up there, the raindrops. What's the mass of that raindrop? And whenever you start getting larger, denser mass, you get these brighter colors, and of course that signifies likely hailstones. So we do have a little bit of a hail core coming across 13 highway right now, so probably some penny to nickel size hail, as well as down here in over Montrose Conservation Area. This is going to be heading up onto P and 18 highway near Delmar, and then eventually work its way up, probably stay just to probably just outside of Clinton. But Appleton City, you are also getting probably some pea-sized hail, and near Copeland, you guys are getting probably penny, maybe up to nickel-sized hail along AA highway. Warrensburg, so you do have a pretty good hail core coming into Warrensburg there, Greg. So kind of keep that in mind. You got your car outside getting a free car wash, but you don't want free dents in your car either. So that's actually a pretty good hail core. So you can pretty much count on some pea, nickel, penny size hail. Pretty much, pocket change hail is going on along 50 highway on the west side of Warrensburg. All right, so you're going to hear my weather radio go off again, guys. As you guys heard, weather radio go off. So they did extend this severe thunderstorm warning further to the east because of those pockets of heavier winds, as well as a little bit uptick in the hail potential that we were just talking about. So I'm going to highlight the area that is under that severe thunderstorm warning. This is going to include Clinton this time. If you're in Hughesville, Sedalia, Warrensburg, Green Ridge, Windsor, Calhoun, Clinton, Montrose, Deepwater, Tightwad, Leesville, we're under that severe thunderstorm warning for a 60-mile-per-hour wind gust. That's going to go on for the next hour. So we had some strong straight line winds come across F Highway. Listening to the scanner. We had some strong winds come across F Highway near Chowee. Good morning, Elizabeth. So, and we do have several areas that look like here from radar, judging by radar, that winds 45 to 50 mile per hour along that leading edge of the line, with a couple small pockets of maybe a brief wind gust up to 55 to 60. But for the most part, just some gusty wind, torrential rain, a lot of cloud to ground lightning. This is a very electrified storm. But again, these warnings are just barely making that threshold to be severe. So again, even though the polygons are very large, we're not talking about a big severe event here. We just need to be paying attention that a few areas could pick up a strong wind gust. A lot of lightning. Make sure that you're prepared for at least a brief power outage with all this cloud to ground lightning. And make sure your phone charged, your alarm clock has battery backup. You guys know the drill. We've been through this several times already this spring. So it's not a big severe weather maker, but at the same time, we still need to respect the polygon. We still need to know that we could see a couple pretty strong wind gusts. Hi, Gina. So let's take a look one more time at the vertical integrated liquid map and see if we can see any hail core. So, tell you what, Greg, this thing is kind of, I think you made the hail core mad when you said you left your car parked outside. It is now coming across 50 Highway near Skyhaven, and looks like it's going to skirt the north side of Warrensburg. So again, this could be pocket change hail. This could be nickel, dimes, maybe even up to 0.85 inch, which just shy of a quarter. So again, if you're traveling along 50 Highway heading to work, just know that you're going to be getting some torrential rainfall and maybe some hail as well. We're going to go back to regular. And so just kind of a recap here, guys. We have a line of pretty intense thunderstorms. It's very, very wide. It stretches from near I-70 all the way down south of Osceola. So, and again, this is going to be for little pockets of potentially 60 mile per hour winds. More than likely, you're going to get strong wind gusts and blinding rain. Strong wind gusts up to 40 to 50 mile per hour. But there is some evidence on radar that there could be small little pockets, maybe up to 60 mile per hour winds. Thank you, Missy. So we'll go through the towns again. If you're in Warrensburg, Houstonia, Hughesville, Greenridge, Windsor, Leeton, Calhoun, Clinton, Leesville, Deepwater, Appleton City, Lowry City, Osceola, just know that you're going to get some torrential rain, some gusty winds, and pocket change hail. Nickel, penny, dimes. And just know it's gonna sound pretty rough out there with all the thundering, because there's a lot of cloud to ground lightning. You're seeing evidence there on our sky cams. A lot of cloud to ground lightning I'm watching on the cams right now. So again, pretty robust thunderstorms. We're not expecting, even though this is a very large polygon, we're not expecting a whole lot of damage reports, or this is mainly proactive for that potential up to a 60 mile an hour wind gust. Oh, thank you so much, Gina. You're always a great supporter of the page. I sure appreciate that. Thank you for that super chat. Yeah, it's way to be way to be very positive, Lynn. I appreciate that. You guys aren't gonna have to worry about watering the flowers tonight. So let's put a couple of timestamps on here. I know a couple people up in the Sedalia area had messaged me about timelines. So this has sped up considerably over the last hour or so. So let's go ahead and put a couple of time tracks on this. Sedalia, you have about 30 minutes. Otterville, around 50 minutes for you guys. You've got Windsor in about 4 minutes. Colcamp, 30 minutes. Versailles, an hour. Leesville, under 5 minutes. Lincoln, 21 minutes. So, Jay, if you're watching, get ready to head into work. You got 20 minutes. 20 minutes to get your trousers on to get to work in Lincoln. And looked like Warsaw in about 15 to 20 minutes. We got Osceola, it's nearly on top of you right now. Cross Timbers, 46 minutes. And Max Creek in about an hour. Hey, he's up and at 'em. Morning, Jay. Hey, Gina. Well, yeah, we do have quite a few more people here in the live stream. And again, I want to apologize for my voice. We've had meetings over the last couple of days. Of course, I'm just I jab and jab and jab. So my voice is about shot. So I am not talking very loud. You might have to turn your volumes up just a little bit on your phone or TV. But yeah, it's very straining to talk. I'd say probably by the end of the day, it's gonna be gone. So don't make fun of me if it sounds like I'm going through puberty again. Well, by 7, Janet, it ought to be pretty much past us by then. You bet, Jordan. So did I, man. It was good to have some moments. It was kind of busy at times, but it was good to sit and chat with you for a while. So we're heading about to the 5:30 hour right now. A lot of people have gotten up already because of the weather radios and their phones going off with the severe thunderstorm warning. And again, to reiterate, this line of storms is just barely hitting that threshold to be severe. We can expect very gusty winds, 40 to 50 mile per hour on average. There are a couple small pockets out there with a little bit stronger potential to see possibly up to 60 mile per hour winds. and pocket change size hail from P to nickel to dime to penny size hail if possible. But again, for most of us, we're just going to see that torrential rainfall that's going to last very briefly. A lot of cloud to ground lightning that could cause power outages, and then that those gusty winds is going to be our biggest threat. This is not a tornado producing line of storms. This is not a spin up type of line of storm. This is basically just a windbag. We've got pockets of strong winds throughout this line of storms, and that's our biggest threat for this morning. Yeah, Warrensburg is pretty much just on the backside of this thing now. You guys are getting some very heavy rain up there in Warrensburg right now. Maybe some small pea-sized hail. But as far as give it about another 10-15 minutes and the entire line is going to be to your east. Morning, Jamie. I like that, Greg. Not the house shakers. Man, I'm fascinated. That's one of the another fascinating phenomena of weather because there's so many types of thunder. You've got those low growls that seem like they'd last for 30 seconds and just shake your feet, shake the house. And then you got those ones that are right smack dab on top of you that would probably shatter crystal if it was sitting in front of you. And then you got, as you said, Greg, just wimpy thunder. Take a look at, see if there's any more hail cores out there. So, southeast side of Warrensburg near Bristol Ridge. Look like we probably have some penny-sized hail coming down in that area. Over near Henrietta, Bowen. I don't know if those crazy old Bowen ladies are up and at them this early, but they're getting drenched with some very heavy rain near Bowen. That's along 23 highway there. A lot of lightning and maybe some small pea-sized hail. And down coming into Deepwater, Brownington area. I know Alan was in our stream earlier. Just know that you could have some pea-sized hail associated with this cell be coming through there here momentarily. And then look like down by Roscoe and Osage Heights, just south of Montego, excuse me, Montego Springs. And we've got maybe some pea-sized hail down there as well. Morning, Melissa. Yeah, you should stay right behind that, Kaylee. So, you're going from Deepwater to Butler. So yeah, 30 minutes. Yeah, it's gonna lighten up quite a bit for you. You shouldn't have to, you're still gonna have some thunder showers, maybe even some lightning on the way to Butler, but it's not gonna be anything like what you're seeing right now. You better get in there, TJ. It's knocking on your doorstep right now down in your neck of the woods. That was a pretty good lightning strike. When I can feel and hear it down here in the cellar of the courthouse, you know that's got to be a not a wimpy thunder there, Greg. Sedalia, you guys have about 25 minutes before this line will catch up to you guys there in Sedalia. Yeah, Greg. They did have a little bit of flooding concern up in the KC metro area, but luckily it had picked up quite a bit of speed as this continues to push off to the east. So that's good news from a flooding potential. So any boys down there, Atro Bartle Scout Reservation, and again they're under a severe thunderstorm warning. They've got about 10 minutes before this line will move into their neck of the woods. And again, a lot of lightning under a severe thunderstorm warning. I'd say, one nice thing about Atro Bartle is the fact they have FEMA approved storm shelters at all the camps. So that's been one of the best acquisitions and additions that Atro Bartle has had over the last decade, is putting in those FEMA-approved storm shelters underneath the campsites. So the kids are going to be safe, but just know they are going to get wet, and they need to shut those flies on those tents down there so their stuff don't get wet. Thank you, Ico Dave. I sure appreciate that. Thank you for that super sticker. I appreciate that. And again, man, it can be 5:30 in the morning, and you guys are still help supporting the group. So I do definitely appreciate that. Let's take a look kind of at the big picture here, and we'll kind of go through a little bit of what we can expect the rest of the day. And if you notice behind this line of storms, this is the strongest line that we have anywhere out there here in the Midwest right now. And behind that, we do have several areas of light showers, thunder showers behind it. Now, I expect this to move out by the noon time. We will heat back up, and we will get muggy, guys, this afternoon. It'll be very soupy out there this afternoon. And then we have another chance for thunderstorms as we go into the evening hours. We can't rule out a pop-up thunderstorm around the 2-3 o'clock time frame. But I'll be really watching for any development after the 6-7 o'clock time frame tonight. I think most of the more intense thunderstorms, the severe thunderstorms, will likely be off to our east and to the south of us here in west central Missouri. But of course, I'll be watching very closely. I'll be here at the Weather Center all day, and be watching over you guys, and of course keeping you guys updated as well. Oh, that's great, Cindy. Yeah, and I tell you, I'm working. Actually, you bring up school. I'm actually working on kind of a new curriculum that I'll be going around the schools with for the 2026-2027 school year. I was privileged to attend 23 schools since January 1st, everywhere from eastern Kansas, central Missouri, down to just north of Springfield and around west central Missouri, and absolutely love doing that. But kind of had the same curriculum here over the last couple of years, so that's what I'm kind of doing during my summer off from school. I sound like a dang teacher. but is working on a new program for the different age groups that I do, and I do it from kindergarten all the way up to college kids. So I've got several different plans that I'm working on. So I love going to schools and interact with the kids, and you guys won't believe the amount of kids that come into my sports card shop during Old Glory Days. And for those of you who don't know, I have a sports card shop on the Clinton Square, and me and my buddy over at 95.3 KDKD, Clay Radford, and I opened that up here last September. And so many of these kids that were down for Old Glory Days came in and they wanted to meet me, and we talked and made a couple of new friends out of the whole deal. So it's awesome to be able to get that interaction with the kids. And of course, the more they know, the more they educate themselves on storms, the less fear that they have when they get older. So love to do it. Absolutely love to do it. We just got another lightning strike here in Clinton. And of course, again, guys, we're seeing it on our sky cams. We're seeing and hearing a lot of thunder, a lot of cloud to ground lightning. I have not checked on any power outages, but we can assume that there's probably, at least in rural areas, some power outages because of all this lightning. It's a very electrified line of storms for sure. Let me jump over here real quick. Let's take a look at our winds right now. So, and again, I'm seeing right now the entire line anywhere between 40-45 mile per hour wind speeds. Now, there are a few little pockets of possibly stronger wind gusts, 50, 55, maybe approaching 60 miles per hour. And one of those pockets are coming up onto Green Ridge right now. This is near Bryson. It's going to be moving up toward Green Ridge along B Highway. That B is in boy. And we also have another pocket down here near Lowry City. This is coming right across A Highway. That A is in Adam. And that is going to be coming across 13 Highway here in about 10 minutes, in between Chloe and Lowry City on 13. And again, we could be seeing wind gusts 50, 55, 58 miles per hour here with this little pocket, and then several little pockets of 50 mile per hour wind gusts. So again, with torrential rains, it's going to look 10 times worse than what it is. You're going to see sheets of rain that's coming across the road near whiteout conditions with the rain coming across the highways. So if you are getting up and have to travel, commute to work, just please give yourself plenty of extra time right now to get yourself to work, knowing that you're probably going to have to slow down to 40, 45 miles per hour when you hit the pockets of wind and rain. And this is a, we're on the backside of severe storm season. That part of our spring summer is over with now. That's not saying we can't get severe weather through July and August, September, but our bulk of our severe weather is pretty much over for our area. Now we get left with and I call them all the time. It's not really the right proper name for it, but I call them windbags. The jet stream is it's further up to the north, and so we don't necessarily have to worry about the tornadic aspect of it. When you get winds 100, 120 miles per hour, 18,000 feet above your heads, going one way, and winds coming in from another direction, that's what happens during severe weather season in March, April, and May. Is we that's why we kind of we always have to be paying attention for the possibility of tornadoes during that time frame. But right now, the majority of the time when we start talking about severe thunderstorms in July, August into early September, it's mainly going to be for strong straight line winds, is what we see here in Missouri, Kansas, Iowa, and of course we can't ever forget the derecho that happened. This was a few years back and through Cedar Rapids in Iowa. Millions upon $1 million worth of damage up in that area, and had a line over 120 miles long of 80 to 90 up to 100 mile per hour winds, just wreaked havoc up in there. And that's what happens during this time of year. We get these windbags, and that's what we got going on today. Very borderline of the threshold of being severe, but we do have some pockets of some stronger wind gusts of 50 to 60 mile per hour, and that's the reason why we have such a large severe thunderstorm warning that is ongoing now for about the next 20-25 minutes or so. So Ralph, again, we kind of touched on that. I don't know if you were in the stream at that time, but again, if we kind of blow this out just a little bit, behind this line of storms, we've got some light shower activity, some thunder showers. I expect this to be moving through and probably mostly out of here by late morning to noon time, and then we're really going to get sultry out there. We're going to have high humidity, temperatures in the upper 80s. It's going to feel pretty gross out there by the time we get to this afternoon. We are going to be watching for redevelopment of thunderstorms. Wouldn't be surprised if we got a couple of very isolated thunderstorms 2, 3, 4 o'clock this afternoon, but mainly this evening after the 6, 7 o'clock time frame. We could have some strong storms around west central Missouri, but I think the biggest threat is going to be it's going to remain to the east of us, maybe a little bit to the south of us as we go into the evening. The latest Storm Prediction Center had moved that slight risk, level 2 out of 5, just to the east a little bit. Encompassing some of west central Missouri, but of course I'll be watching it very closely from the Weather Center. So this line of storm is going to be coming into Colcamp. I know somebody just talked about Colcamp here just a little bit ago. Now, that's just a little isolated cell out ahead of this line. So you've got more coming for you there in Colcamp. That line is just reaching the Lincoln, Missouri area, Warsaw area, Harry S. Truman Reservoir. Looked like it is just now coming into H. Rowe Bartle Scout Reservation, Iconium. So again, those that have kids down there at Scout Camp, just know that they're gonna get wet, and they've got some some wind down there, 50 mile per hour, but just know that the kids are protected. They have FEMA approved storm shelters. They take it very, very seriously down there at H. Bartle when it comes to the weather. So know the kids are safe down there at H. Bartle, and this line should be pushed through probably here about an hour for St. Clair County. Southern St. Clair County also got put into a severe thunderstorm warning, as well as the far northeast corner of Cedar County and southern Hickory County. That's going to include Wablo, El Dorado Springs, Humansville, Stockton Lake. So anybody down in that area, just know that we've got some strong winds that up to 50, 55, maybe even touching 60 miles per hour. That's going to be coming through there here over the next few minutes. Thanks, Greg. I appreciate that. Thank you for that super chat. And yes, if you guys are watching on YouTube, it's completely free. If you subscribe to the channel, you like the channel, the more likes we get, the algorithm of YouTube takes over. And say somebody that don't know anything about Subby's Weather Talk and they're from West Central Missouri and they turn on YouTube, it's going to throw my stream up there as a suggestive link to watch. And the more people that we get into our live stream, the more the information we can get out to more and more people here in West Central Missouri. And it doesn't cost anything to like and subscribe to the channel if you're watching from YouTube. I would greatly appreciate that. No tornado threat today. You're on the back side of it there at Knob Noster. And again, Loot, you guys are still getting some torrential rains, maybe even some small hail, but the biggest part of the winds is now to your east. Here in about 10 minutes, you'll just have some residual showers and thunder shower behind this line of storms. So look like the leading edge of this line is going to be coming through Houstonia, Sweet Springs, Hughesville, Lamont, Sedalia. It's coming through Green Ridge right now. Cole Camp, Lincoln, Warsaw, all the way down to Wablo and Humansville, down to Fair Play. So again, a pretty long line of thunderstorms that's producing some torrential rains, a lot of cloud to ground lightning, and some wind gusts on average 40 to 50 mile per hour, with a few pockets of maybe 55 to 60 mile per hour winds that can come up very quickly anywhere along the leading edge of this line. Oh, me too, Lori. I've got a bad feeling. I've got to push so much just to make a sound. It's wearing me out. But I have a feeling by the end of the day, I'm not going to have anything left. So, it's going to be kind of hard to get those forecasts out there on the radio today, guys. Starting to get a little bit daylight out there right now, 5:47 a.m. Take a look at the sky cams. We are starting to lighten up just a little bit in Creighton and the Dayton, Missouri area. Dayton is just inside the Cass County line, just to the west of Creighton. We still have another 12 minutes left on severe thunderstorm warning for Warrensburg, Hughesville, Hewsonia, Green Ridge, Windsor, Calhoun, Clinton. And then we just got a new severe thunderstorm warning, 2 of them. And that's going to include Sedalia, Lincoln, Warsaw, Cole Camp, Edmonton, and Lakeview Heights. So Barb, I know you were in the stream earlier. Jay, you're over there in Lincoln. This is going to include you. And again, this is going to be for that potential to see that wind gusts approach 60 miles per hour. So again, take proactive steps. We've been talking about it now for the last 30 minutes or so. So if you could, hopefully you had enough time to bring that lawn furniture in. Make sure that you have your phone charged and shoes on, just in case you get a couple power outages. Now, those of you that might be in down near Lake of the Ozarks, Central Missouri, say, Tipton, Jeff City, Eldon, down by Rolla, Lebanon, down to Camington. Now, I do expect by the time this little complex continues into more central Missouri, it's going to be into some lesser environment. And so I don't expect this to continue to push and create severe thunderstorm warnings all the way across Missouri. I do believe that eventually that the outflow is going to outrun this thing and out ahead of this line and cause them to weaken very, very quickly. So we're just kind of waiting for that to happen. So if you have friends or family that are in central Missouri or down by Lake of the Ozarks, and again, might tell them that we're not expecting this to continue, the intensity, but it should weaken here probably within the next hour or so, I would think. Now, I don't know if you guys remember, whenever we had this line of storms, you guys remember me talking about an outflow? They become outflow dominant, meaning that there's like a little green line that forms out ahead of this line. And it's rain-cooled air that rushes out ahead of that line of storms. And then when the line of storms comes over that cooler air, then it begins to weaken. That's what we're waiting on. So we're waiting on this little outflow to start to develop out ahead of this thing, and then it will gradually finally weaken and dissipate. But so far, it's holding its own so far. Hey, Larson. So I don't know when is a little bit, but you'll probably be staying just behind this line, at least for the most part. And again, if you just heard me talk a little bit ago about as this continues to push off to the east, it is eventually going to form an outflow and become outflow dominant and begin to weaken. But if you're heading out, say like around 6:30, by the time you work your way up to I-70 and head east, I think you'll be okay. Still have some thunder showers around, but at least you won't be going through that blinding rain. There's Syracuse, right along 50 Highway. So right now, you're not under any kind of advisory in Syracuse or warning right now, but know that line of storms is not very many miles away from you to your west. So if this retains the same intensity, you're going to get the same thing as what everybody else has been getting. Just some wind gusts, 50, 55 mile per hour, and torrential rains, and maybe some pocket change hail. Pennies, nickels, dimes is what you can expect there in Syracuse. Wersaw's still in the thick of things right now. So you guys are getting torrential rains right now, but as far as the winds go, we're seeing kind of this thing kind of splitting up just a little bit. We do have some strong winds that are along 65 Highway in between Lincoln and Sedalia right now. We have this little pocket of 50, 55 mile per hour winds. Taking a look a little bit further south, and again, maybe down around Wablo, we have another little pocket. Down here just southwest of Warsaw, we have another little pocket, maybe 50 mile per hour winds. But if we go back to regular radar, you can kind of see how this is beginning to kind of split just a little bit. Let me go to my draw. You kind of see it's starting to split right in this area where we have a strong section right here and then a strong section right here. So until we start to see an outflow begin to develop out ahead of this thing, we're likely going to see these two areas kind of split a little bit further, and then finally gradually begin to weaken a little bit as they move into the Ozarks and move into central Missouri. Windsor's in good shape, Isaac. Just some residual showers and thunder showers here over the next couple hours. Hi, Misty. So if you guys are waking up here at 6 o'clock, and again, we have had a very loud morning. We had some very gusty winds, 40, 50 mile per hour winds. We haven't had any reports yet of any kind of damage or anything like that. We do have a few limbs down. We do have a lot of cloud to ground lightning with this line of storms, and again, it looks a lot worse on radar than really what it is. We see several severe thunderstorm warnings out there, but this is not your typical big severe weather event. These warnings are issued for that potential that we could see a pretty quick gust to 60 mile per hour anywhere along this line. But we haven't had really too much reports up to around 50 miles per hour winds. But nonetheless, we need to respect the polygons. We got to expect to have some power outages with all the lightning, because this is a very electrified line of storms. But all in all, it's not a big event. I'm kind of more concerned for central Missouri as we go into the early evening hours. I do believe the majority of the severe weather is likely going to be just to our east, probably east of 65 Highway and maybe south. but we're going to be watching it all day, and of course I'll be giving updates throughout the day on where we expect the biggest threat for any stronger storms as we go into this evening. Hi, Rebecca. Sure. Yep. I'll once we get these storms off to the east of us. Yeah, we'll be down here at the courthouse. That's where I'm at now. I decided to come in here. I was watching from the house. Got up about 1:45, and I was here at the courthouse by around 3. And then kind of track these storms as they come across the state line this morning. But yeah, if you let me know a good time, I'll make sure that me and my boss man's up here. Hey, Tim. So you still have probably about another 30 minutes of some torrential rainfall. There hadn't been anything flood-wise that's been issued as of yet, but you guys are getting dumped on right now. Probably will be for the next 30 minutes. Hopefully you guys were following earlier when we were talking a lot about Scout Camp when this cell was just kind of coming into St. Clair County. But the big part of the winds right now in St. Clair County are really kind of south of Atro Bartle and north of Atro Bartle right now. So mainly just predominantly the very, very heavy rain and tons of lightning down around camp. Yeah, that sounds good, Rebecca. Make sure we're down here at 11 today. All you got to do is just come up and come up to the front, and we'll come up and meet you up at the front door. So a couple's already mentioned that, the great news with all this is they're not going to have to go out and water their flowers tonight. So, hey, there's a bright outlook to all this. So again, we just had one of our local troops was down at Atro Bartle. I just found out, but again, we talked about this here during our last hour. Atro Bartle, they're very blessed to have storm shelters down in each campsite. That was one of the best acquisitions camp has had over the last decade or so, by giving that sense of protection to the parents and protection for the kids. They take it very seriously down there, and again, this is going to be a wind gust to 50-55 miles per hour possible, and torrential rains, and a lot of cloud to ground lightning, and that's pretty much what you can expect down at Bartle. And again, no flooding concerns as of right now, but Anybody that's been down there in camp, they know whenever you get those torrential rains, you get rivers going down those gravel roads into camp. So just know that you probably got about another 30 minutes or a little longer of some torrential rains that's going to be ongoing. So want to make sure to keep those tents buttoned up and keep what you can dry. Yeah, you'll be fine at 7:30, Lori. Oh, Dave, I'm telling you, you mow, and that afternoon, that evening, it looks like you can mow again. That's no joke. That's how fast. I mean, it's like we just showered our yard with Miracle Grow, man. It's unbelievable. The grass situation this year. Now a lot of the ranchers, hay farmers, they absolutely love it, but it's a lot of them, they can't get out there in those fields. They could have three cuts already. I know most of the state. When I did the farm forecast yesterday on KDKD, 15% has already cut their second cutting of alfalfa across the state. So that's a little bit ahead of the 5-year average, but it should be a lot higher than that right now with as much rain that we have had. It's just the fact that farmers can't get out there to the fields. It's just too wet. Good morning, Barb. So Sedalia right now along 65, and again we're seeing torrential rains along 65 from Colcamp Junction all the way through Sedalia, really all the way up to the I-70 junction. Smithton, you're gonna start getting into this as well. Colcamp over into Morgan County, Stover, Versailles, you guys are gonna start getting into this line of storms, and again some gusty winds, a lot of lightning. Look like we've got probably the strongest part of this cell here is going to be down. That is along A Highway along Lake Creek, and that's going to be crossing the county line. It's going to be affecting Piermont, Stover here over the next 15 to 20 minutes. Warsaw, you guys on the east side of Warsaw along Highway, this is where the strongest part of this cell is down mainly rural areas along the lake. It's going to be coming over toward Lakeview Heights and Eubarb, Edmondson. So you're going to get a brief dose of this heavy rain, and then as we go down into St. Clair County and down into Cedar County. And again, this is probably the strongest part of the line right now is the southern branch. And this is going to be between Larry City, Osceola Vista, Wablo, Humansville, and then over toward Bolivar, where we got just torrential rains ongoing. A lot of lightning associated with this small cluster of cells here. But when we put the winds on this, right now I'm seeing maybe one little cluster of 55 mile per hour wind possible, and that's going to be over here, that cell that we were talking about just to the east of Lake Creek, northwest of Piermont. Maybe a little pocket of a couple stronger wind gusts here, but all in all the line looks like it's behaving itself. Maybe 50-mile-per-hour winds coming across 13 near Collins, Humansville, Wablo area. And again, a lot of the areas we just highlighted, some of the stronger aspects of that line. Good morning, Susie. So if you're heading out on 7 Highway, say from Clinton up to KC Metro, Harrisonville, maybe to work, and as you can see down there in the bottom right-hand corner, that's Creighton, Missouri, along 7 Highway, and it does look like that we've got traffic going at a good clip down 7 Highway right now. And as you can see, there is the Creighton convenience store right at the exit of Creighton. And again, it looks like rain. It's just maybe some sprinkles, some light shower activity in Creighton. But it does look like most of the traffic along 7 Highway is going at a normal clip along 7 Highway. So don't expect much of the way of any kind of slowdowns on 7 Highway on the way up toward the KC Metro area. Good morning, Kayla. Yeah, you're good to go in Sedalia. You can go back to bed now, Haley. So for this little cell that we just talked about over near Stover, east of Coal Camp, they did push that off to the east. That severe thunderstorm warning for that potential of a 60-mile-per-hour wind gust. This is going to be for Morgan County all the way down toward Camden County, down toward Lake of the Ozarks. We still haven't seen an outflow begin to form yet, but it's definitely looking weaker than what it had just an hour ago. If I put this into motion, and we can see how that line is kind of starting to separate a little bit. But nonetheless, we got that potential for that 60-mile-per-hour wind gust. And again, taking a look at the velocities here, there's really not a whole lot showing, except for down here in near Humansville, Wablo. There's a little area down here that could be producing some 50, 55-mile-per-hour winds coming across 13 Highway. We still have another 18 minutes left on this severe thunderstorm warning for Pettis County, including Sedalia, Lamont, Green Ridge, and also in near Otterville. And again, I'm not seeing anything concerning with this cluster of thunderstorms. Just, some torrential rain, a little bit of lightning, and 40, maybe 45-mile-an-hour wind gusts. We have 18 minutes left on the cell down here for Benton County. And again, about the same thing. Not really seeing much of the way of anything concerning here. The wind threat is kind of pushed east out of this area. And then for St. Clair County, you still have 33 minutes left on this. And again, this is really probably the strongest part of the line that extending down from St. Clair County into Cedar, parts of Hickory County. And so again, not quite over for you folks down there. You're still getting a lot of lightning, torrential rains, maybe even some pea-sized hail down here. Winds look like 35 to 45 miles per hour based on radar. So again, just a strong thunderstorm down here in St. Clair, Cedar, and Hickory counties. And Polk County as well. I don't want to leave those guys out. Down in Bolivar, you're not in that warning right now, but you're getting ready to get hit with some very torrential rains here just on your doorstep there in Bolivar. Maybe some small hail as well down in Polk County. Good morning, Kelly. Yeah, you guys are down in Edwards. You guys are, and again, there's quite a bit of lightning around in, around Benton County right now. Being down there in the Edwards area, again, you're going to get hit with some of this here that came across St. Clair County, H. Bartle Scout Reservation. So you're going to get some very heavy rains and a lot of lightning out of this. They did trim this severe thunderstorm warning that was in effect for the next 15 minutes. They did trim that up a little bit. Sedalia, you're out of that warning right now. Smithton, Otterville, you guys are still in this, but again, I'm not seeing anything concerning with this right now. But again, a brief wind gust can come up 50 miles per hour pretty quickly. So still need to respect that severe thunderstorm warning, but not seeing anything imminent right now. I have a feeling they will likely begin in Benton County to kind of shave off some of Benton County as well. Cole Camp, Lincoln, Warsaw, Edmondson, Lakeview Heights. You guys are looking pretty good. You still have lightning, thunder, some heavy rain still ongoing, but nothing concerning with what you have left over there in Benton County. They will likely start to shave that just a little bit. We're going to go ahead and pull this out just a little bit, and again, you guys can see we do still have an area of light showers, maybe a thunder shower behind this little cluster of thunderstorms we've been dealing with here in west central Missouri. I do expect most of this to be through by late morning, by the 12 o'clock hour, and then we are really going to heat up relatively quickly. It's going to be really soupy out there this afternoon, and we do have that chance for more thunderstorms as we go into the evening hours. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if we had a pop-up around the 2, 3, 4 o'clock time frame, but it's this evening that Storm Prediction Center does have part of west central Missouri in that level 2 out of 5 risk for seeing some severe weather similar to what we've had this morning. Mainly a strong straight line wind event, but I think majority of it is going to stay east of 65 highway and south of us here in west central Missouri. But of course, I'm going to be watching and giving you guys updates throughout the day on that. So, taking a look at the latest model data, and I'll put this down here on your screen. It is not quite done yet, but here is the latest model data from the short-term HRRR model that's updated every hour. And as we go through get these storms out of here this morning, you will notice that right around the 2 o'clock time frame, you notice there's a couple little thunderstorms that pop up here in west central Missouri. They're not going to amount to much, but it wouldn't surprise me if we had a couple little pop-up thunder showers this afternoon. But it's really this evening. We go into this is 5 o'clock, and you notice we have some small cells that begin to develop Paola, Warsaw, Benton County area. Now remember, a model is just going to show us trending. It's not going to be real accurate where these are going to actually happen. It gives us a picture of what could happen, not what will happen. But nonetheless, as we go into the 5, 6, 7 o'clock time frame, you notice there's a few more of these thunderstorms that begin to pop up here in west central Missouri. And this is 7 o'clock tonight. And notice we do have a few thunderstorms here in west central Missouri. Now, these cells could and do have that potential to be strong, with strong straight line winds and hail being the primary threat with any of these. So again, the models have they flip-flopped several times over the last 18, 24 hours. So again, this is just trending. It's showing that we do have that potential to see some redevelopment of thunderstorms as we go into the evening hours. So just make sure you stay weather aware. Know that this isn't the last threat that we have for today, that we do have that chance later on this evening to see redevelopment of some thunderstorms. And of course, I'll be giving you guys updates as we go throughout the day. So things should be starting to lighten up as far as the rainfall rate down around H. Bartle, Osceola, Lowry City. Still some lightning around, but you'll notice here over the next 15 to 20 minutes that the rain is going to start to let up just a little bit. The strongest part of this cell is definitely down here in the Humansville, Wablo, Pittsburgh, Bolivar area. and this is going to be down in Hickory and Polk counties right now. That's really the strongest part of this line that we have left over. I'm not too concerned over near Lake of the Ozarks, Camden, Morgan counties. There are a couple wind gusts that could approach 50 miles per hour, but there's nothing concerning right now in this area that I'm seeing on radar. So if you or you have family members in the Versailles, Gravois Mills, Osage Beach, Camden area, it's not looking like anything we had the other day that caused all that damage down Lake of the Ozarks. We're not talking about those kind of winds. We're not talking about that kind of storm system. So they did extend this severe thunderstorm warning down to the south into Polk and actually northwest Greene County. That's going to include Pleasant Hope, Walnut Grove, Ash Grove, Bolivar, basically straight down 13 Highway from Collins all the way down until you get into Greene County. So anybody traveling to or from Springfield on 13 Highway, again, just know really the strongest part of this little cluster of thunderstorms is going to be basically paralleling 13 Highway from Wablo down to towards Springfield. So likely here in about another, probably here in about another 5 minutes, we're going to see Pettis County and Benton County. You guys are going to be out of the warnings right now, here in about 4 or 5 minutes. St. Clair County, you guys still have a few minutes left on it, but again, we're starting to see it beginning to lighten up just a little bit. Thanks for the report, Shock. Go to Subby's Weather Talk and Extreme Weather Info. Let's take a look and see if anybody is reporting any power outages right now. So actually, a lot of it is in eastern Kansas, but Evergy has almost 30,000 people without power. But again, majority of that is going to be over in the Kansas side. Osage Valley, they've got about 9 people out without power. That's going to be down here in southern Henry, northwest St. Clair County. So they don't have really a lot of issues at Osage Valley. Como, they, and again, very few. They have 10 people out down here in just west of Osage Beach, and that might not be storm related right now. So we've got Sac Osage. They've got a couple people without power out from Sac Osage, and West Central Missouri Co-op. They've got about 20 people without power, and this is southwest of Warrensburg. So this is going to be just east of Holden. Actually, this is right along F Highway, I believe. That's where we saw. That's where we saw some of those stronger winds earlier come through. So that likely caused a branch or a power line to come down. So all in all, there's not a whole lot of power issues so far with this cell, but with this line of storms, I should say. You guys have Como? So we do have a report of 6 to 8 inch diameter tree branch down in Clinton, Missouri. That's 1 mile east southeast of Clinton. So we do have a couple branches that are down, maybe resulting in a couple power outages in and around the area. But for the most part, we're not seeing a whole lot of any kind of damage or power outages, anything close to what we've seen earlier over the weekend. Thanks, Michelle. Pettis is going to be fine, Bailey. So the severe thunderstorm warnings completely expired for Pettis County. They went ahead and allowed Benton County to expire early as well. So again, kind of what we've been talking about. We've got we do have one severe thunderstorm warning left here in our area here in West Central Missouri. That's St. Clair County. They're still getting some moderate to heavy rains, but again, nothing concerning right now for St. Clair County. The strongest part of the cell is definitely down here coming into Polk County. Humansville, Bolivar, Hathaway, Pleasant Hope. That's the strongest part of what's left over of this line of storms. And as you can see, this thing has really weakened over the last 30 minutes, kind of what we expected it to. So again, there's not very good atmospheric conditions over here in central Missouri for these things to continue or intensify. So we're expecting them to continue to weaken, and then we will see some periodic thunder showers, some light rain showers through the morning, and then really heat things up this afternoon. Really muggy, I should say. Highs will probably only get up upper 80s, maybe close to 90, but the humidity, the dew points are going to be sky high when we get to this afternoon. You guys are good to go in Sedalia, Ashley. We got 12 minutes left on the severe thunderstorm warning for St. Clair County, and then we're going to be good to go here in West Central Missouri. And again, I will be updating everybody as we go through the day today on that potential to see some additional thunderstorm development as we go into this evening. Again, as we saw on the models earlier, I wouldn't be surprised to see a thunderstorm or two pop up around the 1, 2, 3 o'clock time frame. But we'll be really watching into the early evening hours when we could have again some stronger storms pop up this early evening, and I'll be watching that very closely. I will put this down here, the latest Storm Prediction Center outlook for our area here in West Central Missouri. Notice that Clinton, Osceola, Larry City, Bolivar, and points to the east are in that level 2 out of 5. It'll be interesting when we get to about the 8 o'clock in the morning time frame, that's when they will update this risk assessment. What the Storm Prediction Center is thinking as far as the recovery of the atmosphere for the threat of storms later on this afternoon. So it'll be interesting to see what they're thinking at around the 8 o'clock update time frame. And of course, I'll be passing that information on to you guys. But currently, right now, we are in that level 2 out of 5 for seeing severe storms here this morning. Obviously, we did. And as we go into the evening hours, we'll see how they will adjust that with this morning's thunderstorms later on here in about an hour and a half. Hey, a couple big shout outs out there that I want to talk about. Number one, want to thank Jennifer for the Venmo tip. Thank you very much. It is greatly appreciated. You guys always take good care of me and what we do here at Subby's Weather Talk. Your support, I love it. The German table, thank you very much for your support as well. With that tip on PayPal. Thank you to the German table. Of great place. I know one of actually one of my folks' favorite place to go eat. Eating in there, and those of you that haven't been, what a great day trip that is too, is to head down to Coal Camp. Coal Camp, a very old town. I know both of my folks grew up in that town, and the German table, that's always been a staple of the Coal Camp Fair for dinner as we head down there. And one of the very few places where you can actually go see a parade in which the floats are done the old-fashioned way with the paper flowers and done the same way it was many decades ago. So always a great time at the Coal Camp Fair. So again, if you guys did not catch what we talked about just a little bit ago, again we have a very conditional threat for any more further thunderstorm development this evening. With all with all these storms that come through here, I mean it's you have to keep in mind that the atmosphere above us is liquid. It's just like water, and so we have to determine where all of the ripples from somebody hitting the surface of the water, where all of those ripples, how is that going to affect a piece of driftwood out there in the center? Where is that piece of driftwood going to go? And that driftwood is a storm. So it's very conditional on what's going to happen for this evening. But nonetheless, we need to stay weather aware as we go into the early evening hours for the potential to see a couple more strong cells. Basic threat is going to be for strong straight line winds. But when we start dealing with outflow boundaries, when we start dealing with the front, when we start dealing with a low-level jet that produces in the evening hours. And again, just kind of a little bit of a learning curve here. Remember, the low-level jet happens when the sun goes down. The atmosphere cools off a lot faster than the surface does. So therefore, you get differences of temperatures, you get differences of pressure, and that's what creates wind. So closer to the surface, we get a little bit of a low-level jet that can help kind of spin the atmosphere a little bit. So we have a lot of things that we'll be watching as we go into the early afternoon and evening hours. But again, the Storm Prediction Center has us at a level 2 out of 5 risk to see severe thunderstorms as we go into the evening. So I'll be watching that very closely. So one other item of note, they did issue a let's go down here to this. They did issue a flash flood warning, and that is going to be for St. Clair County and West Central Missouri. So 2 to 3 inches of rain have fallen in St. Clair County. We talked about this a little bit earlier about the potential, especially down around Scout Camp. So Appleton City, Osceola, Lowry City, Johnson City, Truman Lake, just know that flash flood warning. So if you guys have any low-lying areas, if you live near creeks and streams, just know that that water is going to be rising, and very, very quickly. So we definitely want to put an emphasis on that.
Natural house to be on fire. It could be 511 North Wall Street, 511 North Wall Street. One of the residents at the home called stated she has her dog. Unknown where the spouse is. Stated the car was gone though.
So our first responders are heading to a fire, house fire. So hope and pray everybody is out of that here in Henry County. Everybody remains safe. So let's do a little recap here, guys, and I think we will probably go ahead and be done with this live stream from right now. It's getting to be about 6:45. Everybody's getting ready to go to work. We'll do a recap, and again, I think a majority of any imminent severe weather has cleared west central Missouri as a whole, but we still have another, well, it looks like it just expired, the severe thunderstorm warning for St. Clair County. However, we still have a flash flood warning that we need to make sure that we get across to everybody. That's going to be for let's see here, for the next 3 hours. So water is going to continue to rise over the next 3 hours in the creeks and the streams. 2 to 3 inches of rain have fallen in this area right here that you can see. Let me put this over here a little bit, and that's going to be from Wablo, Vista, Osceola, Roscoe, Lowry City, Appleton City. So again, if you're traveling, just know there could be some water over the road, ponding on the highways, and again, just take it slow. The rest of the area, just basically some light rain, maybe a clap of thunder with the thunder shower, but no more severe weather here in west central Missouri. We're expecting this to be out of here by late morning, maybe noon. We'll probably really heat up to the upper 80s, near 90 degrees this afternoon. Very, very humid conditions. We'll have heat indexes up there into the upper 90s. So, and then we're going to have to watch for the redevelopment of thunderstorms as we go into this evening. The strongest part of these cells right now is going to be down near Bolivar, Halfway, Buffalo, Pleasant Hope, Walnut Grove. That's where the strongest part of this, what's left of this cluster of thunderstorms, is currently at. We do also, for our friends off to the east, there's a pretty intense little cell that went through Lake of the Ozark down to Brumley, Eldon, Tuscumbia, and that's going to be heading off into central Missouri here over the next 30 minutes to an hour. But again, we kind of expecting all this to finally begin to wind down as we go into the early morning hours, and then we'll kind of have to wait and see what the afternoon will play out for us. So you can expect me to have all the updates on our social media platforms. You can find us on 95.3 Mike KDKD Facebook page, as well as Subby's Weather Talk group and Subby's West Central Missouri Advisory page. You can find me on Instagram, X, just about all the social media platforms out there. I will be continuing to update as we go into the afternoon and early evening hours, and I'll be passing along the next update probably around the 8 o'clock time frame this morning. We'll have an update from the Storm Prediction Center. We'll get their thoughts and views on how this atmosphere is going to react with all this rain and storms we had this morning. Are we still going to be expecting some stronger storms as we go into the early evening? I will give an update on that probably between 8:30 this morning. And of course, you guys noticed that St. Clair County severe thunderstorm warning is now over. They just had that flash flood warning for the next 3 hours. Please keep that in mind. The rest of West Central Missouri right now, we are not under any kind of advisory or warning at this time. So I will go ahead and end this live stream right now. I appreciate everybody jumping in on the stream. It was a very, very early morning for everybody, but luckily, outside of a couple of power outages, a couple tree limbs down, I think we pretty much got through this without much of any kind of issues. So everybody, get out and have a fantastic day today. Make the best of it, and I'm sure you will be hearing from me from time to time throughout your Thursday. Have a great